Okay, I am here in the bed in one of our yards with the lovely Hugh, aka Honas. So first of all, tell us, what does Honas mean? What is it?
It's it's not incredibly deep now,
Okay.
but it's so my initials are HON, so that would be the start of it, and then my family home has always been called Sonis.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted, like when I was playing around with names, I wanted something Irish in there, or a hint, alluding to something Irish or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of what I landed on, and it just sounded and felt good from the get-go, so that's what I landed on. Yeah,
I like it. Great. So you are originally from Sligo.
Yep. Down
the road, not too far away from us here. Tell me, what was the music scene like there when you were a young pup?
I think when I was young, it was good. There were only, I felt, a handful of people my age that were doing it as well, and I got to know them as the years went on. One girl, Sarah Crummy, so talented. We started recording together and gigging together and stuff. There was another guy, Joss Kelly, who plays with Moxie, if you've come across them, trad fusion band. He was in my year in school, so like there was a couple of heads like that around. And then in terms of going out to see music, there were a couple of people about, like Shamey O'Dowd I really looked up to. He was he is trad and kind of rock blues musician.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like the music scene now in Sligo, I think, is like, as good as it ever was, better than it ever was. There's so much young talent. Kieran Quinn runs these theme nights where he gets, and youth theme nights as well, where loads of people come in and get the chance to perform, and it's really kind of highlighted the amount of talent that is there in the town, and there's so much live music every night of the week. It's great.
Great. So were you like a secret closet kind of guitar player when you were younger, or did you just kind of go full force?
I lived overseas with my parents from the ages of 6 to 8, and when I came back, my 2 older brothers were in a band, and as soon as I kind of sat in on one of their practices, I was like, you need to teach me guitar. So from then on, it was just all I did. I think my mum actually had me at violin lessons, and the teacher's heart was just a bit broken. She was like, he's not practicing, he said he's playing guitar instead. He just needs to stick with that. So definitely not a closet guitar player. I had it everywhere with me.
Okay, right, yeah. Brilliant. And so you play by yourself now. Were you in a band before?
Yeah, so I went to college in Dublin, and met a group of guys there, and I actually, it was a mate of mine in my class, Dave. He was in a band called Orchid Collective, and their bass player was stepping down, and he asked would I fill in for a bit on bass, until they found their feet again. And I ended up just kind of loving sitting into that role, became really friendly with the guys and loved making music with them. So I was with Orchid Collective for probably, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years probably.
Yeah. And how did it transition into you doing by yourself? Yeah,
so I always knew, I was always writing all that time anyway. I knew I wanted to do my own thing at some stage. I was kind of struggling to find what style I wanted to do, because I found I was writing in a lot of different styles, and but then the time just eventually kind of felt right when I had written a group of songs that felt like they belonged together. So I think it was around 2018 or 19 that I kind of started taking my own stuff seriously and started recording it, and felt like I was writing in a more refined style.
And was there a moment, like, do you remember a defining moment when you were like, this is what I want to do, I want to be a musician, I'm going for it?
I mean, definitely I remember those moments when I was a child. Probably what I mentioned there, like seeing my brothers play in a band and sitting in, every time they had a rehearsal in the house, I would sit there for the entire 3 or 4 hours, whatever it was. So I've always kind of, that's it. It's all I've wanted to do for pretty much my whole life since then, I think.
Time can move fast, but sound travels slowly to me. And holding up light is easy when only who's kept in the dark needs to see. It's not who I thought you to be. But you will never know what the thought of letting go, pulled from every fiber and pore. The world wanted hate, but I work a different way. Can only carry all that weight so far. And I like it better anyway, when no one can hold you and you fall. Yeah, I like it better anyway. Me, you both keep on falling and never hit the ground. Me, you both keep on falling and never hit the ground. And never hit the ground. And shatter like glass, always tiptoeing, withholding. But what's built to last when everything round me is designed to become obsolete? It's not what I want this to be, 'cause you will never know what the thought of letting go, pour from every fiber and pour. The world wanted hate, but I work a different way. Can only carry all that weight so far. And I like it better anyway, when no one can hold you and you fall. Yeah, I like it better anyway. Me, you both keep on falling and never hit the ground. Me, you both keep on falling and never hit the ground. And never hit the ground.
What kind of steps have you taken to become a full-time musician?
I mean, I think the bulk of the work is probably done when it's just playtime for you. I think as a kid, just falling in love with music and doing it all the time and doing it because you want to do it. I think as you get older, for me, I found it's more challenging to, you know, when you're an adult with a life and other things going on, it's you don't have that same freedom to just, you know...
You got bills to pay.
You got bills to pay, exactly, yeah. But yeah, I think that, and then I was lucky that, I feel I was lucky to find BIM, the college, because I think it was only open 2 years. I was the second year in the college, and before then I probably would have just gone and done some random degree because I felt I was supposed to do that. Whereas this was a modern music degree, and all of a sudden I was in a building with, you know, I think it might have been 400 people, all like-minded, and like even now, so many of my contacts in the the music industry are people that I went to college with.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
It was like, it really built
Yeah.
those foundations.
So do you kind of feel like being around other people and being in a busy city, in a big place, helped you?
I think so.
On the way.
Yeah, because I moved to London just last year, and it was kind of with that in mind as well. I always, it was kind of always in the back of my mind. Maybe I'd try London sometime, but felt I would regret it if I didn't kind of just give it a go, because it is like a music capital of the world, and it's like right there, you know. So yeah, it does help for sure being around more and more people doing the same thing, because I came back to live in Sligo for a little while a couple of years back, and I loved it. And like I mentioned earlier, like the quality of musicianship around the place is amazing. There just wouldn't be a huge number of people doing the original music thing, or those that are mightn't necessarily align with my style and stuff like that. So yeah, in London then it's the opposite, you know. There's so much, which can be a bit overwhelming sometimes, but you are surrounded by a lot of inspiring stuff, you know.
So bring it back onto home ground, what kind of up and coming music bands and artists can you recommend at the moment?
My good friend Seba Safe is well worth checking out. He's been doing great the last couple of years. He's released some lovely singles and EPs, and I think he's due to go on a little tour supporting Susan O'Neill as well, which is amazing. He's great. Stephen O'Dowd from Sligo is amazing. He's just put out one single so far, but he's like, when I mentioned earlier on about like when you're a child having that kind of wonder with music, and it's just playtime, and you're a sponge, you soak it all up. I think he's like 26, 27 now, and he's still like that, and I'm so jealous of it. Every time I see him, he's just better again. So he's one to watch out for sure.
Great. And what can we as music lovers do to like help support like the Irish music scene, do you think?
I think like what you're doing here at Willowbrook is amazing, just, you know, using your space to run little gigs. I know there's loads of spots around the country, like little cafes, like the Cheese Press in Ennistymon, or Alfie's in Ennistymon. It's like vintage shop. They've started running gigs there as well. I love that businesses are using their spaces to support original music, put on little gigs. And then, I think in general what the public can do is just go to those gigs. Obviously follow the artists, share their stuff on social media and stuff. But I think primarily going to the gigs, and if they have some merch, buy their merch and wear it around.
Say we love you. That's great. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you tonight. Thanks so much for joining me on the bed. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
May you both keep on falling and never hit the ground.